Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to this video recording of the winter focus meeting. Before we get started, please take a minute to reflect on how things are going now as compared to how you felt when we first started in the program last August or September. So please go to the link that's provided in your Google Classroom, and it's a poll everywhere, and you are going to let us know how you are feeling on a scale from 1 to 5. So 1 very uncomfortable or 5 very comfortable. How are you feeling? So let's go there and then check yourself in there and let us, that activate your feelings and tell us where you're at with this in this crazy school year. So, like I said, this is the Chino Valley Teacher Induction Program's Winter Inquiry Cycle Focus Group meeting. This is a mid-year meeting to touch base, discuss how far we have come and what we have coming up ahead of us. Links used or referenced during this meeting are in your Google Classroom, so you can access those there. These are live links in the presentation, but not live links in the video. So thank you for taking that poll. I know that doing something new is sometimes scary because we don't know the system, but we do not grow unless we are pushed a little out of our comfort zone. And so remember the Learning Plus One theory? This program and the Google Classroom are your plus ones. Now we'll begin, and the outcomes for today's meeting are as follows. We want participants to reflect on their first inquiry cycle for this year, whether year 1 or year 2 or ECO, and you're actually wrapping up the second inquiry cycle right now. So this will be a little bit, you can do this with both inquiry cycles. Reflect on how the artifacts and evidence of progress gathered over time so far support your SMART goal, and learn how teachers who are interested are able to acquire university credits for the work done in induction while participating in this induction program. And we also want to talk to you a little bit about some professional learning opportunities, as particularly RECA and TPA help. Excuse me. So at this point of the year, we are wanting to review what we've done and how we've documented it, reflecting on what you did for your inquiry and how that supports your overall SMART goal, and what we might want to do for the rest of the year to help you reach your professional goals, okay? So how does the evidence, the data provided in the collective evidence of practice support your ILP goal? One way to keep track of what you've been doing, and one way to know what you still have left to do in an inquiry cycle, is a checkoff list that we've provided in section 1.6 that you may use, and it is a Google sheet, so you can rename it and adjust it any way you wish that makes sense to you. So this is to help you keep track of the dates you met with your mentor, which tools were used, and it also corresponds to the same number, section number in Google Classroom, so you can keep track of where to upload things. The checkoff list is not a requirement, but rather an organizational tool to help you stay organized, to see where you're at and where you've been and where you're going. So the graphic on this slide is very intentional. We know that plants need soil, water, air, and sunlight to grow. What do you need to grow as an educator? Think about your SMART goal and your inquiry questions. You've done 2 so far. How did the tools you and your mentor choose to use and submit as evidence support your inquiry question and your SMART goal? We want you to look at the example on the next slide and see how the activities and strategies that maybe one person did supported their goal, so you can relate to it and see how the activities and strategies you're using support your goal. Okay? So if you look at this slide, what you're going to see is on the very left-hand column, you're going to see a SMART goal. Then you're going to see an inquiry question, and then you're going to see 3 pieces of evidence of practice. tools that the teacher and the mentor use together to support the inquiry question and the SMART goal. You're also going to see a professional learning opportunity and how the connection that was made to support what also was going on in that inquiry. This is an example from a teacher from 2 years ago who is teaching ESL over at the adult school. So it might look a little different from what you did, but everybody's situation is a little bit different. So your pieces are going to be similar, but tailored to your unique situation. So if you click on that link that's in your Google Classroom, you'll be able to go to a Google Doc and see many other examples. And one of the things that it might do is give you some ideas for where you're going for your very last inquiry cycle this year. Okay, or maybe things that you might want to think about next year. Okay, one of your requirements is that you do some outside research. Now, we don't have research papers per se, but what we do have are professional learning opportunities that you choose to support what you're doing for your inquiry and your SMART goal. Some of you might also still have TPA or RECA or other requirements that you need to meet for your credential recommendation. Now, those are not program requirements, those are credentialing requirements. But I wanted to share some information about those with you right now. Cluster 4 is a group of induction programs that are housed in the greater Los Angeles area. And this cluster has gotten together, and some of you may have done one of their activities there that were in February, I think, the Professional Development Series. So right now you have a list of 5 different workshops that are going to be available to you for free on April 25th. You do not have to go to them. A professional learning opportunity is required, but you don't have to choose one of these. But I'm, making them available to you, in case you're interested. There's also a RECA session and a CalTPA session. If you need help with either one of those, I would strongly recommend that you attend either one of those sessions. And that is also, you can use it, you can double dip. You can use it for your professional learning opportunity. You can also use it for your TPA and just getting information for your TPA and your RECA if you need to do it. Not everybody needs to do those things. Those will be on your credential, and you should know if you still need to do those because you didn't do them in your pre-service program. Additional TPA support is also on the CTC's CalTPA learning channel, and so there's a link there, and there's a CalTPA playlist on YouTube and the CTC learning channel. So you can go there and get some more information about the CalTPA. And then if you need additional RECA support, just wanted to remind you it's still there. It consists of 2 assessments. You have a written examination or a video performance assessment. So you could do either one, but this link will help you, give you information and provide support materials for you if you have not done that yet. You really do need to make a plan for that because we cannot make your credential recommendation when you're done with induction if those requirements are still outstanding. Okay? Thanks. Now here's just some general updates, and we're almost done. Here is, let's see, I wanted to say for the inquiry, most of the first inquiry cycles have been reviewed and feedback's been given. We're in the process of looking at the inquiry cycle 2. If you haven't gotten feedback for your first inquiry cycle, know that that's coming. What we do is we mark it complete, and then we make notes. If it's incomplete, we'll say, oh, incomplete, please, well, we don't ding you. We'll just say, please, give more details, more information, or did you do this one already, or, whatever. So remember, you don't flunk induction, but you can be asked to provide more thorough evidence that you are completing the required tasks for induction, okay? And then also, if you want to get university credits for salary advancement, you can for the work that's done in induction. And if you go to section 1.4 in your Google Classroom, there's information there that will tell you about how to go about doing that. You can get units through Whittier College, through UMass Global, which used to be Brandman, but now it's UMass Global, and University of the Pacific also provide units for a fee if you need them for salary advancement. If you have a master's degree, you probably don't. But if you don't have a master's degree yet, these can be helpful units. And I do want to address that there may be some non-reelects. And I know we have temporaries, people who are temps on a temporary contract, so you know that's a one-year contract. You may or may not be invited to reapply for the next year, but also if for whatever reason you ended up being a non-reelect, please, please, please continue to finish out the year strong. This is a small educational community. In any place you go, your new employer or your prospective employer is probably going to be, calling back here and asking about, your attitude and things. And so you want to make sure that you leave your principal wishing that they had not non-reelected you. Okay, you just want to say, I'll show you, and just be the very best you can possibly be, and make them sorry. That's kind of my attitude. But also, I cannot give you credit for 1 year of induction if you have not finished everything out that's required in the induction program. So I really, really, really want to be able to do that. And just so you know, that the grade report you would be using as a transportability document that you would take to a new program is the same thing everybody will be getting and using if you want to get university credits. So it's going to look like this. It's coming up. It's a grade report through Google Classroom. And so what it'll do is it'll show all the tasks and checks that you completed them. Okay, remember, this is not, evaluative. It's just, did you do it or not, sort of a thing. So you'll have this, and you will have a completion letter attached to it. So those will come through Google Classroom, so you need to be looking for those at the end of the year. Okay, so that's kind of where we want to go with that. And so that you'll get that, everybody will get that, okay? You can use them for university credits, you can use them as a transportability document in a new district that you might be going to. So that is all there is. I will be seeing you in April, and looking forward to having a very, very positive last quarter for the school year. And there's an evaluation link right here, and it is also in your Google Classroom to do an evaluation for this virtual training, or for the training. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day, and I look forward to seeing you at the next meeting.